Dip me underway. You can fill my mind for flow. Hold me till I scream for air breathe. And wash me over until my will runs dry. Send all your sins all over me, baby, baby.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? I hope all is well with you. So, today we are talking story times. Let's get into this story, but before we do, know that all things on this page are alleged and in my opinion, it is for entertainment purposes only. We're giving commentary, and all of these things being said are my true and humble opinion. Everything's just, alleged. And also, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever I drop a video. We gonna get into this story time. I don't I try not to watch it prior to, just because I want to get a genuine reaction. So I haven't watched it. I know she's talking about the subject is not trusting everybody. So I believe it's something along the lines of a friend setting her up. So we going to listen to see what she experienced. We gonna get into it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Alrighty. Let's um let's get into it. Oh,
Literally like set up in traffic. Okay, so I wanted to give y'all a quick story time about how I almost got trafficked by my best friend. Well, literally like set up in traffic. This is why you should trust who you hang around and watch your surroundings at all times. I was dancing in this little hole in the wall in New Orleans. And I had met this girl at the strip club my first night. She was telling me how she was best friends with my best friend, but I had never heard of this girl a day in my damn life. So when I asked my friend, at the time dance partner as well, I was like, "Hey, do you know this chick? She claims that she knows you," and she was like, "Yeah, she's cool. She's been dancing here a long time. We consider her like an OG." So I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like I'm already getting in with the OGs, and if you know, you know. Like when it comes to dancing, especially knew I was literally a baby dancer, like 19. I'm
I know
27
nothing.
now. She invited me to brunch the next day. Mind you, I didn't stay in New Orleans. I stayed in Mississippi, and I didn't have a car at the time. Like I said, I was like freshly out of high school. Then she pulls up in this Mercedes, and she texts me that she's outside. So yeah, I get in the car, and she was already being a little awkward. Like she was cool for the takeoff, but y'all, once we got on the interstate, craziest shit I had ever heard in my life. One of the questions was like, "How would your family feel if you never came back? Like if they never seen you again?"
What? Yeah, that's a weird question to ask. That's a very weird question to ask. So, yeah, I'd be side eyeing and questioning whether I should be in that car at that moment because that's weird.
Like, girl, who asks that first of all?
Right. Who
But
does?
anyway, I kept going with him. So I'm listening, I'm just telling her stuff. I'm telling her like why I started dancing, what's my goal dancing, because at the time I was really into like just the pole work of the care too much about shaking ass and shit. And she was real fit, y'all. Like this, I don't know. So also I started to notice on the ride, to New Orleans, I would ask to go to like fast food and stuff. She didn't eat fast food. Like I said, she was real, real fit and she had a very strict diet. She's ordering like I think like a parfait or something from McDonald's. I was ordering like all type of stuff, y'all. Wasn't the mission to go get brunch? Okay. So I'm texting my friend. She has my location. I'm texting her, every time that we, make a little stop or whatever, just to let her know like everything's okay. Like I'm with such and such. She real cool so far.
Real question, real life question. I'm not even trying to be funny. I get my nails done, and probably about half, probably more than half her length. How do y'all do anything with y'all nails that long? Do anyone in the chat get their nails done that long? I just I don't know how y'all do anything. Like from opening stuff to wiping your asses. I don't know how you do it with nails that long. But okay, I digress.
So mind you, while I'm making these phone calls, the girl is also making phone calls, but it's like a man's voice I'm hearing. I mean, every time we stop, y'all, we could literally like, and I brought my little chihuahua too at the time with me as an emotional support animal. I didn't care at all. I bring my dog everywhere. She would stop and like call this man every single time we would stop or pull over. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I told my friend, I'm like, girl, does she have a boyfriend? Like, I'm texting her, like, hey, you know, she got a boyfriend or something? Because every time we make a stop, she's calling this man, telling him where we at. My friend was taking too long to respond after I asked her if, you know, if there was like a man involved or whatever. Did she have a man? Okay, we get to the girl's house. Y'all tell me why we walk in and her lights are out. Her lights are out. So I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, what we gonna do if the lights out? You know, so guess who she calls? This man. So she's like, hey, like the lights are out. Like, what are we supposed to do? I'm supposed to be getting ready for brunch, but the lights are out. Like, it's like as if the lights are out was like a fucking key
Code
word or
name.
something. Then we go to
Hmm.
this hotel, motel type of place. Mind you, I keep telling y'all this is like 2015, 16 at the time. So yeah, motels, hotels, it really didn't matter. So we check into this motel, and girl, when that motherfucker got on that phone that last time to tell that man where he was at, I lost it. I lost it. Cause why do you keep calling him and telling him where we're at? Why does he need to know every little move? Like it's
Hmm.
not making sense. So we get a knock on the door. It's the man. It's the man. He's like, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. Shorty walks out the door. Soon as he says, hey, let me talk to you for a minute, Shorty walks out the door. So at this point, I'm just looking, I like, you know, like, yo, what's good? And he was like, hey, such, and you're gonna need my number from now on. So I'm like, all right, I start putting it, I'm going along with it. I'm like, all right, what's your number? I put the number in my phone and I'm like, what do I need to save it as? Like, what's your name? This man says, save my number in your phone as King. So at that point, I literally lost it. I lost it. I lost it. I already knew what was going on. I had at this point acted like I needed to go to the restroom. Like I got his number, you know, and told him it was nice to meet him. Was waiting on the girl to come back. When I came out the bathroom, still wasn't there. It was still the nigga. Even taking a next breath without asking what the is going on. So he begins to ask me, how do I know my best friend? Like, you know, no, how do you know my best friend? So, oh, she's been one of my girls for a minute. One of my girls, like, what the fuck do you mean? One of my girls. She's been one of my girls for a minute now. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? I was literally shaking in my motherfucking pants at this point. Get a knock on the door. Do y'all want to know who it is?
The
Guess.
friend. The
It's
friend.
my best friend.
That's crazy. Wait a minute. Let's get to the next video. All right, I had to find the next one.
I'm just waking up and I'm seeing all of you guys' comments, which I haven't even got through half of them. But let me first start by saying, why would I lie? Also, I think you guys are forgetting the part where I said we were on our way to New Orleans. So we made a stop That wasn't the brunch spot. She came early that morning and came and got me. And I wanted to get something. I ordered something, and she didn't really eat fast food because she was on a strict diet, so she got a parfait. That's what I said. Also, question that she asked about me never seeing my family again, it didn't strike a red flag to me at the time. Now you have to know, like when you're restating a story, everything to you is like, wow, okay, I get it. I didn't feel like that while it was happening. When she
Yeah,
asked that, it
hindsight's
was putting it in a
2020.
way of like, like what if you like it here so much that you like never want to go back home and shit. Like, but that's what she said. How would your family feel if they never saw you again? She did say that, but we were already talking about other stuff, so that's why it didn't really strike to me. So yeah. All right. So part two. My best friend is the one who knocks at the door because they go and open the door, and my heart dropped to my ass. It kind of like
I bet
crushed
it
my heart
did.
because I felt like I was in a twilight zone, if you know what I mean. I kind of felt like it was the end for me because, mind you, I had been texting my friend, and my friend had kind of like stopped texting me as soon as I asked about the guy. So when I first seen her, my first reaction was like, "How could you?" Yes, girl.
And not only that, how you knew I was here? That's how you know it was a setup.
Like, girl, what the fuck you doing here? Literally, if you know me, you know me. I curse a lot, so I'm really giving y'all the PG version. What you doing here? And she was like, "Girl, I was just trying to put you on. Don't think too much. Don't think." She kept saying, "Don't think too much. Don't think too much. I was just trying to put you on. I was just trying to put you on." It's not funny. It's not funny, but it is funny now because I really a lot could have happened, but it didn't. But yes, we did fight. We fought. They jumped me. They jumped me. They did jump me, but I was not one of those little bitches that didn't have their own money. I very much had my own money. I just didn't have the resources. Of course, after that, I left out. I called my family. I called my sister at the time, and she came and got me from New Orleans. I had to go to a gas station with my stuff. I waited though. I waited like an hour for my sister to come get me. It was my sister and my best friend, which was also like my brother's baby mom at the time.
Mm.
So if you're watching this, put it in the comments and vouch because I don't know why they think that I would lie about this. So yeah,
She come with
I
receipts
didn't want to
too.
give
I seen
y'all
that.
a long story time because I didn't know the first one was gonna blow up the way it did. And I was only calling the girl my best friend because she was really like I guess a dancer best friend. You know, you don't know nobody else in the club, so you just call them your best friend, kind of like you call somebody a cousin. Also, another thing about the club, I didn't even know the club was built the way that it was built or made for what it was made for. First, first thing that you see when you even go into the club, he's playing corn on like a portable DVD player. Yeah, this is like I said, this was back then, 2015, 2016. So the guy is selling like corn DVDs, and that was like the first floor, and then you'll go up these stairs, and once you go up these stairs, it's the club. Now, if I didn't know about this club, I probably wouldn't even know that it was a real place. I probably would have thought it was being set up right then. What happened? It was a lot of red flags. You guys are absolutely right. But if I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't have the discernment that I have now in my relationship with God. I wouldn't have it. All the red flags wouldn't have stopped a little teen fresh out of high school, determined to make it, to do something, because in those small towns, nobody gets out of those towns. Back then I felt like I only had one mission, and that was to get the bag. I wasn't somebody, I was very put up as a child, so I didn't really know too much. And I think that's as parents, I think that as parents, you think that, having your kid inside all the time protects them from the world. But honestly, it just made me a lot less aware. Fast forward, I never heard from either one of them ever again. Never even saw the lady ever again. I did dance in New Orleans again, but it wasn't. It definitely wasn't at that club. It wasn't at that club. But I never ever saw either one of them again. It's really easier for it to happen to you, especially from someone that you know. It's always going to be someone that you know. And at the time, I didn't know a lot of people. And I can honestly say it definitely changed my perspective on the word friends, the strip club industry, because that wasn't the last time that happened to me. I wasn't set up again. Absolutely not. But club owners did try. If you know, you know. I could give you guys more story times if that's what you guys want. I'll be exposing a lot of people in a lot of industries. But if that's what y'all want though, we can start a series. I'm just waking up and I'm seeing all. I just want y'all to look at the date.
Just to prove, she
Why would
said.
I lie? Look at the club. The name is already up there. It's right here. And you can check out the whole article for yourself. It was exposed out of my knowledge, out of my control, and this was back in 2016. Updated in 2019. The club was closed down for this very reason, and I didn't know that until I did a little digging. But yeah, and if you guys want me to, I can even show you what the club looked like because there are very few pictures of what the club even looks like. And that to be one of the most popular strip clubs in New Orleans and not have any pictures of your club itself should be a huge red flag. I was only like 18, 19. Anything
Facts.
with the word teen after comes with naiveness. And I really want everyone to know that. No matter how grown you think you are at 18 or 19, you're not. If you think you're ready to be a stripper, you're not ready to be a stripper. And I honestly would love to tell y'all more stories, but I'm honestly going to say that I am afraid of being blackballed. Blackballed, what do you mean blackballed? To be not one of those girls that, or sell yourself, the other clubs, other club owners, management, other girls, they'll get worried that you're not one of those type of girls, and they'll make it very, very extremely hard for you to get money. Club. And no, it's not just one club. It's
But at the same time, wouldn't it make more sense to state where you stand in a sense of being like, listen, we could be here in the club, get our money together, but that's where I end. Because otherwise, you're going to keep getting approached. You remember, she just said in the last part of her video that that wasn't the last time that she got put in that situation. She didn't get set up, but she still was put in a situation where I guess they approached her to do the, tooting. So if they don't know whether you're down or not, then yeah, they're gonna keep approaching you. But I also get the blackball part. But I mean, child, I would have to stay where I stand. Like, listen, we could get our money, we could do what we do here, but once I walk out that door, we done here, because that's a whole different other part of the lifestyle. Like, stripping, dancing is dangerous enough because you have those that come in and they become obsessed with the dancers and they really have this mentality like that this is my girl, or they get possessive over dancers and stuff like that, come every night, probably follow them afterwards and stuff like that. So I mean, it's dangerous in itself, but then when you add the more layers you add to it, the more dangerous it becomes. Who knows how many women have gone missing or have been trafficked, um, or other things happen behind the whole tooting part of that lifestyle, and they don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't care about you. What you do, another girl can do. So, if the number's right or if something happens, they'll just get another one. I don't know. I think it's better to stay where you stand, but that's just my opinion.
it's all of the clubs in the area. They will all talk. So one thing can cross you out for a while. And I think that's what I was most afraid of when I was youngest. Even on my YouTube, I have a video on there called The Truth About Stripping. And it didn't do as well on views as I would have liked it to. But even then, I was trying to spread awareness on the truth about this industry, but nobody really wanted to listen. Everybody just wants to get to the bag, but
Hmm.
getting to the bag is the smallest part of it. I promise you.
I'll read it. It says the affidavit of former dancer Ashley Carnes, who describes herself as a victim of human trafficking, who was forced into Tootin in Houston, Dallas, and New Orleans, was filed as part of the State Office of Alcohol and Tobacco Control's defense of a law requiring dancers to be 21 or older. It also represents the most serious accusations against an adult club levied since the ATC's trick or treat raids on Bourbon Street clubs in fall 2015. I wonder if I should read the first page for y'all too.
It's the smallest part of it. I promise you. Let's read it.
I'll just let it play. There wasn't
I'll let
much
you
on that
guys read
main
it.
screen.
And this one right here is the one I really want you guys to read.
All right, it says Passions had condoms available for the dancers to use when they went into the VIP rooms. The VIP rooms were meant for X, not private lap dances, Carnes said in the filing, adding it was not a secret. Carnes said that most of the dancers at Passions and other strip clubs engaged in tooting, adding, based on my experience, I believe that 75% of the dancers also engage in tooting.
You think I was the only naive one there? No, baby. They got me, and they got me good. They used people that I knew to lure me in. I didn't just meet my best friend the same night that all this happened. I was already friends with the girl before I started dancing, but the girl that was introduced to me was a new girl that I had no recollection of. I didn't know her at all, but I trusted my friend at the
Because she
time.
probably wasn't
So a lot of
really
y'all keep
new.
telling me to stop saying that was my friend. And at the time it was my friend. So that's why I was claiming her as a friend. But honestly, so with that being said, y'all, I really
So that the new person, so like she said, she had a friend that she trusted, and that friend was the one that referred her to the new girl. Where I think the new girl wasn't really a new girl. She just came around every so often to collect the new girls, the new strippers. So it seemed like she was new or she didn't know her. But remember, they referred to her as an OG. So how are you new and an OG at the same time? It's giving she only comes around to and they make her seem enticing by calling her an OG. So then the new strippers like her, the young strippers, will want to be in her presence. Like she said in the beginning, for those who are in that lifestyle, they know if someone says they're an OG, it's like I guess you want to get in their good graces or you want to be, cool with them. So she was down for kind of doing whatever to a certain extent. Um, but she wanted to be cool with her. She was down for being cool with her. But I think that lady's just she's sent to collect the new dancers, the young dancers, the naive dancers. But this is wow.
pray that nobody ever has to go through anything quite like this. But like I said, I do want to give you guys more story times. I would need you guys' help. I will need you guys' cooperation, engagement into the story times because the moment that it stops, I will not continue making those story times. I will not put my life and my livelihood at risk.
Mm, okay, let's see if she has anything else. So she did the proof. Um, So people were asking her questions. I guess we could go through some of these.
Okay, so I keep getting this question. Let me answer that. So I did not stay in New Orleans at the time. I stayed in Mississippi. She came and got me early that morning, and I had bags with me. I was supposed to get, dressed. I was supposed to change. We had a whole day full of stuff that we were supposed to do. We were supposed to go get brunch once we touched down, and after that, later on at night, we were supposed to go to the club. We were supposed to work, which I actually have a story time too, but I don't even think it's necessary at this point. So yes, I brought my stuff with me to change. We were supposed to get dressed by her house. I saw nothing wrong with it. I think people are seeing the red flags way more than I did at that age and at that time. So of course, me restating it is sounding like, why did
Crazy.
she pull over here? Why did y'all go there? Why did you go here? Well, I hope that answered your question. Okay, so I keep getting this question.
It's,
Let me answer
you
that.
know,
So I did not know how
always
to take no.
2020. It says, I wrote a book because my dad was a PIMP and it gave me trauma. Yay. Anyway, somebody acted like that's not trafficking, and it is definitely the same because look how they tried to get you. It's so common for them to.
It was a lot of things that I left out in the story. And knowing that I know the kids
Kids.
of the pimp
Mm.
to this day, I know his kids. I don't think that his kids even know that he does this. So it's a lot of things that was left out in the story just to kind of save grace and save light. Because like I said, this was a almost a decade ago. But I'm telling you guys, if y'all have not learned anything else from the story besides trying to figure out if it's real or fake, is that it's always someone close to you trying to set you up. I
Hmm.
think a lot of people are missing the moral of
She
the
ain't
story.
lying.
This comment, I wish I could pin it or share it 1,000 times. And let me say this before people try to pick my comment apart. His kids are all older than me. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that I knew his kids. His kids stay in Mississippi. Well, some of them. So I didn't know that though. And they are all older than me. Let me just shut up.
Child. So it's kind of sound
Okay,
like the
so
movie
y'all had me
Zola.
to go watch this movie. I went and watched it on Tubi to see what you guys were talking about with the similarities. And I'm gonna say this. I know my story, I sounded very young and dumb, naive, whatever. But the girl in this movie, come on now, y'all. Like, she didn't have really. She let that man talk to her crazy and everything. Baby, I stopped that dead in his tracks. I fought for my life. I was jumped out of it, like me and my dog.
Not the dog catching
I
it too.
think the girl in that story. I didn't watch the end because it was so cringe to me. I didn't finish watching it. But please don't compare my story to this.
Oh.
I think mine is no.
Okay, well you heard it here. That is crazy. To get set up and to be told like, "Oh, I thought, like you'd be down." Well, then why'd you feel the need to set me up if I would be okay with it? This is insane. Like, don't do me. Don't do me. You knew you was gonna try to take me by force. And it just so happened that she was willing to fight her way out, where most people don't feel like they can, especially if they're outnumbered, if it's more of them than they are of you. Some people aren't going to be willing to take that chance, and they're just going to, kind of cower down. And I don't mean coward in a sense of y'all being weak, because you never know what you'll do till you're in a situation, and then stuff like that is traumatizing. It takes a lot out of somebody. I never would mean that in a demeaning or negative type of way, but Um, that's crazy. And it's crazier to me that she stayed in this, um, I guess, genre, in this field, in this type of employment. And I get it. It's money. You know what I'm saying? It's quick money too. But I would be hesitant. Like, I wouldn't trust anybody. I'd be rolling solo dolo, dance and I'm gone. Dance and I'm gone. Dance and I'm gone. Like, I would really have my head on a swivel, trusting people. And from my understanding, that environment, you kind of need a friend. So I don't think I would do good in that area. Because, I heard like you have to kind of have at least somebody to have your back. 'Cause I'm sure with any place that you go to, when there's multiple females, there's multiple, personalities, in the sense of everyone has their own, obviously. But then you have, cliques, and then you have the bullies, and you have different upbringings. And when you kind of bring that all in one pool, and everyone has to be in one area, something's gonna pop off. So it's like, do you want to be the one that's by yourself? Because you're a target at that point. Because they know, especially the ones who like to bully people, they know you're an easy target. Hell, you're an easy target for the person who don't like to bully people. But if they want to come off, a certain type of way, you got a bullseye on your back. Child, I don't know. Kudos to her. Get your money, honey. Hopefully it all pans out and she, get what she needs out of it and gets out. I don't think it's something you stay in long term, but that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this story time in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Listen, I like chocolate girl, all shades, different flavors. She a diamond and a pearl. She a goddess with a mentor, yeah. Cinnamon swirl. She relate to what I've been through, yeah.